Wisdom in Letters, Part B. And here is another verification podcast to go along with it as you see it posted. Hi, Perceptive Reader. I want you to think about Jesus. It is not the topic or title of this because will be called Wisdom in the Letters, but all the same, we're talking about something he considered quite a bit. Now, it goes into understanding. It goes to show his great patience, and it certainly shows his love. And it is actually an aspect of his personality that a lot of people have learned from. And then it also shows, I guess you could say, there's an extra addition that should always be considered with what Jesus did in this case, because we wouldn't want the public, we wouldn't want ourselves to still respect this fact about Jesus. What was that? When it came to people hearing about Jesus and believing all the good and wonderful works that he was performing, people went to great lengths just to see him. I mean, they would walk miles. People would climb trees. People would even break the Mosaic law to try to touch him, to get that close to him. They would do all sorts of I was going to say feats, because I'm still thinking about, climbing trees and things of that nature. But all the same, even when persons did things that were even not, in a sense, without looking at it through a spiritual eye, was wrong, because remember, you can even have an insensitivity. Yeah, that's the word I want to use. An insensitivity to someone's plight. And you could see examples even in the Bible where God had mentioned, when it comes to stealing even, that he at least had put in his word that you can even understand when a person would steal. But all the same, when the person is caught, they still had to return what they stole in sevenfold. But all the same, I still want to mention about Jesus. He knew the great lengths that people went to, all because of wanting to see him or even touch him, you see, to be in his presence. And he would actually not even, at least the way it's written in the scriptures, he wouldn't even focus, you see, on whatever it is that maybe they shouldn't have done. Like I said, even if it was breaking the Mosaic law, he would just say to some of those persons, your faith has made you well, you see. Now, keep this in mind, that it goes to show, may I use the word, obsess. Some people were with Jesus, and we know obeisance. It does have a tendency to deal with worship or bowing down, that much reverence and respect. And you know what? The grand creator up in heaven certainly used words in allowance for that, for the great respect for people to give to Jesus and the love. And you see, so that word obeisance that is even used at times in translations, again, is very understandable, even though the grand creator, Jehovah God, is over him. There is an allowance for the appreciation so much on that level that's why when people talk about even getting baptized, you get baptized in what? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So that is a great honor that has been placed upon Jesus. And yet, this is what I want to say in the closing of this letter. Even though Jesus made allowance for whatever the people were doing and, gave them the mitigating circumstances on, the great extenuating circumstances or feats that they would do just to come see him, even if it meant breaking the Mosaic law at times, he still didn't have or would not even allow persons who wanted to do something so much for him that he would not allow them to restrict his movement, you see, the way that, he needed to move around and what he needed to do. He wouldn't even allow his mother to do that. And there were another example where persons really wanted to do something great for him, if you will, feed him an elaborate feast. And even then, he was saying, you don't have to do all that, you see. And a lot of people, they have that desire to give of themselves in that way. And yet, because of the responsibility and role that Jesus still had and knew what he had to do in life, knew what he was doing, he wouldn't allow persons to restrict him in that way. And the point in closing that I do want to share, notice the difference though, and from reading those accounts of all the people who really just wanted to see him or listen to him or talk to him, you just don't pick up the spirit anywhere in there that still, even with their great love towards him, that it didn't turn into some type of fatal attraction, as if, where if I can't be around you, if I can't do this, then I don't want anybody else not to be able to be around you or hear, you or what have you. At least we don't read about accounts like that in there. And so I just thought I would share that with you, Perceptive Reader. And this was another wisdom in the letters, or it could be letter in the wisdom, all the same. Take it as that. Take care.